We're not looking back, and there ain't no stopping us now. What awaits you is right in front. It's something new, and it's just for you. So join me for that new thing, starting now on A New Thing Live. Hello and welcome to A New Thing Live. I'm so glad that you're here with us tonight. My name is Cyndi Galley, and I'm the host of this show. I love all that live audience. I love that, hearing that guy that yells in the very back. Do you hear him? He's like, whoa! I do love it. But one day I would really love a live audience. Can you just be in agreement with me that one day it will be a live audience? How much fun would that be? Oh, yes, my goodness. Amen. And y'all are invited. But I want to welcome you to A New Thing Live. Like I said, my name is Cyndi Galley. I'm the host of this show. Today is May 30th. It is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. My goodness. This is a day where we are honoring our veterans and those who have served our country. And I am a proud American. I am proud to say I love my country. And I pray that you are saying we love our country, all that it represents. It really does represent freedom. I have so many friends who have now become citizens, American citizens, from Cuba, from Mexico, from Panama, and everyone from Bulgaria. Dear, 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 dear friends of mine. They all say the same thing. They cannot understand all of the division, and they don't understand how we don't have regard for our country. I mean, they work so hard to be able to become these American citizens. And so I am proud to be an American. In fact, that song, girl, Kiri, when they sing that song on 4th of July, I cry. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So that, God bless America, all these different, I'm so excited at that 4th of July is around the corner. But anyway, we do want to say happy Memorial Day. And again, just thank you to every one of you who have served, to have family members. So many of my family members have served in the military. And so we pray that you are honored and celebrated. We thank you. Some of you have lost loved ones who have fought for our country. I want to say thank you to every one of you for doing all that you've done, for laying it down, for sacrificing your lives, your time, your years, so that we could be the land of the free. And may we continue to be the home of the brave. And so we just want to say happy Memorial Day, praying that you're celebrating and having a beautiful time, and that you're being safe. You know, and also just very, very sad and still very brokenhearted regarding last week's news with the deaths that took place in, I think it's Uvalde, Texas, is how I'm pronouncing it. But, 19 children, that was the last that I had looked. It may have increased since then, but 19 children and 2 teachers lost their lives last week at Robb Elementary School. And so our hearts are with you, our thoughts, but we are also praying for you. I do believe in prayer. And I have to say this, that as a people of faith, or people, maybe you don't even have faith, but you do, there's something in you that says, but we should be praying. Well, you know what? You're right. We should be praying, not just about what has happened, but also that all of our schools would be covered, that they would be protected, and praying for people that have mental health. I mean, truly, I am a firm believer that the word of God really does change things and can change circumstances. And so my heart is that just that we as a people around the world would wake up. Come on, wake up. There are things that are going on around the world. It's time to wake up and stop acting like everything is fine. Everything is not fine. And so those people that are watching, if you are a person of prayer, I'm going to ask you this week, would you pray every day? Even if it's 1 minute, you may say, I don't know how to pray. Well, we can provide something on our website for you to pray. I just pray God's word. I find different scriptures in the word of God, and I say, Lord, your word says this. Lord, your word says that, according to the word of God. And so would you, let's call it the prayer challenge. the prayer challenge for 1 week, the prayer challenge to pray, not only for the students of Robb Elementary and the teachers and those that are still dealing with the aftermath, but also for our nation, our country. We really do need to become a nation that's in one accord and in unity. And we can do that even with our differences. Even with our differences, we can still be united. It's a thing and it is possible. I promise it is possible, but we would all have to be willing to work at it together. So it is a 7-day challenge. It just happened right now. It wasn't even anything that I thought of, but I just felt like I needed to say that. And so we're going to do a 7-day challenge of prayer to pray every day. And we will have on our Instagram and on our social media what you can pray for. We'll have day 1 prayer, day 2 prayer for 7 days, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 31st. And then we will have 7 days of prayer. And then we'll have a scripture for you to pray. And then maybe we'll even do an example of what prayer looks like. Some people have said, I don't know how to pray. I don't want to pray. Well, so we're going to do an example of how you can pray. We're going to do that for 7 days. So please join us as we do that. But yeah, hearts are super heavy. You know, first was Buffalo, New York, and then now it's Uvalde, Texas. And so I was watching an interview with Pastor Greg Laurie from the Harvest Crusade. And he said, what we have to do in a time like this is call on God. And so wanted to leave you with that prayer. So excited about our 7-day prayer challenge. Okay, so I just came back from vacation. I'm switching gears a little bit and spending time with loved ones across the nation. First, it was Nashville. Then it was Miami, Florida. So I have a little bit of a tan going on still, and my hair is still very much Miami vibe going on. But, you know, as I was traveling, I thought there are some things that I would love to share to help people. Some have even asked me, well, how are you traveling right now with COVID and all of this going on? Different people are asking me different things. So I thought we're going to put together just, first it was going to be some must-haves or must-dos kind of a thing. But I am going to share with you some must-haves and must-dos as you prepare to travel, because things are coming up, events are coming up, weddings are coming up. I will be traveling again in the very near future. So one of the things that I wanted to say is invest in a clear bag, something similar to this. And this goes with me on my carry-on. Spirit, you know, you have to pay for carry-on, but so you might just take a personal belonging, which might be like a bag or something, a big bag. But for me, I need nasal spray. My nose gets a little dry when I'm on the air, also in the air, also, and breathing all that same air. Eye drops. Okay. Take your little eye drops and put them in here. I always carry an emergency with me on the plane. Now I also take it with me in my suitcase and my luggage, but carry an emergency, because if at some point you feel have a little bit of a sore throat, the minute you take it, that vitamin C knocks it out. If you want to be daring, do a double duty and then do two bags. Okay. And then I also, for some of you like me that have the frizz, I just put any of these little things that are less than 4 ounces. I just throw them in here. My perfume, I throw it in here. And I'm also going to go and just let you know that I also put my little COVID test, taking it with me just in case I was gone for, I don't know, maybe 10, 11, 12 days. And I pulled that out. And then, of course, a hair tie. What's in my bag? A little lip balm, because sometimes I don't like dry lips. It's like the worst thing in the world. I don't like licking my lips when they're dry. Of course, a really cute, fashionable mask. And then this is my saving grace when I fly, is chewing gum. And I put that gum in my mouth before we take off so that my ears don't pop. Or if they do pop, they pop very easily as I'm chewing gum. I've tried it both ways. I've tried even just chewing without the gum. Doesn't work. There's something about gum that causes my ear to not get clogged up. So that is one of the things that I had for you for when you travel. Now, let's see. Some of the fun things that I took with me. And I don't really need to go into all of the details, but if you're staying at an Airbnb or, you know, a VRBO kind of a place. One of the things that I like to do is I need to find out like what kind of coffee. Okay, this is for y'all that drink coffee. What kind of coffee maker do they have? So in finding out, we were at an Airbnb in Miami and they did have a Keurig. So I brought my favorite K-cups because if you're going to be on vacation, you need to have the coffee that you like to drink every day, right? Or sometimes it's a hotel. I'll look at the photos. Is it a K-cup? Is it a Keurig? Because I don't necessarily like the K-cups that are in the hotels. Now, so that's just one of the things that I would recommend is finding out beforehand what kind of coffee maker they have and then doing that. So that's for all y'all that love coffee. Now, some little tidbits that I did and it really worked out well for me was ordering things online from Target. Are you near a Target? Are you like if it's an Uber or if it's in Lyft, that's one thing. If you're renting a car, it's a little bit easier. But this way you don't have to carry everything with you on the luggage. Just thinking, okay, what can I just already have for me over there at their Target? Or the other thing that I did was I ordered a couple of things online on Amazon and I had it delivered the day after I arrived so that I would be there to receive it. Just some really simple things that help me to travel a little bit lighter. And then the other thing is if you're going somewhere that has a washer and dryer, sometimes one of the things that gets me all tripped up is having to wash all my clothes. But it was like, oh, well, I had a little bag of some dirty clothes that I wanted to wear, maybe some workout pants, maybe a couple of my tank tops. And so I'm just like, I threw it in a bag and then I was able to do my laundry once I was there. So those are just some things that can help you out a little bit, I'm hoping. Now, the other thing is eating. We stayed at an Airbnb in Miami. And also I stayed at one of my best friend's homes in Nashville too, actually. And so one of the things that I was able to do, and I was so happy, was that we went to Trader Joe's. And this is like a way to ensure that you're not going to, put on a whole lot of weight because I knew I was going to eat a whole lot of food in Miami. So I really believe in the salad kit. So Kiri thought it would be a great idea for me to not only show it to you, but to make it for you while I'm here on air. So I'm going to make a salad kit as I talk to you. This one is from Trader Joe's. This is a lemon arugula basil salad kit, which I have never tried before, but I'm so excited. Trader Joe's actually has my favorite salad kits. And then here's a barbecue and black pepper Toscano. I mean, look at this one has green, red cabbage, carrots, broccoli stalks, kale, cornbread croutons, which I will not be eating, and then the black pepper and Toscano cheese, like yummy. And the other thing you can do, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is just buying your favorite lettuce, which for me is arugula. And then this would be something that I would order from Target and already have it ready for me. I love my Brianna's vinaigrette. So taking that, and then whether you're wanting to do,
and it's strawberry month.
And it's strawberry month. So there you go. You wanted to work that in. You got it in. Yes. So those are just some fun things that you can do so that every day you're not eating out and spending a whole kind of money, on your restaurant bill. And not only that, you're not going to be eating bad all the time either. That's one of the other things that I'm excited about. So I'm going to be cooking not cooking, but prepping as I'm chatting. Let's see here. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I think yeah. Now I'm going to keep talking about some things and then I'm going to make it quick because I really am excited about tonight's guest. And I know that you're going to be so excited too. Oh, by the way, this is an interactive show. So tell us where you're watching from. Interact with us. You're going to love tonight's guest. There's so much creativity in this one human. It is like unheard of. And it's like, what in the entire world is going on? But he's so much fun and he's brilliant and he's talented and he's gifted. And there's more, but we're going to save it. I'm making my salad at the same time. So I'm going to hurry up and get him out here. But some of the other things that are fun, and were must-haves for me, okay? Maybe we don't all have the money, you know, with all the cost of inflation and everything. I didn't have the money to go get a tan, and I already have a tan. But let me tell you one of the things that I did. I went and I ordered, or actually I bought Copper Glow 50. This has some shimmer in it. Okay, this got some shimmer. And this bait, let me see, this little guy was only $5.99 for me at Marshall's. I think it's also $5.99 at Amazon as well. But it gave me such a beautiful glow. And I've loved copper tone since I was a little girl. Of course, it's got that 50 SPF, so you're gonna be taken care of in a really nice way. And then I was gonna show you some of the salad. So those are just a couple of the things. Now, this particular salad is Fresh Express, but you know, there's Dole, Walmart has their salads. Obviously, Trader Joe has their salads. Target has their salads. So, you know, you might find a salad that you like. Honestly, any market that you go to, you're going to find a salad. So now I've got my arugula, and now I'm pouring in this dressing. Now, you know, you might say, oh, I like arugula, but I don't like it for lunch or dinner. But you know what? Have you ever tried it for breakfast? Arugula, yes, with egg whites over it, with turkey bacon, with green salsa, with cilantro, with some Kumata tomatoes. It is bomb. And then you shave it on the top with that Parmesan cheese. Oh my goodness. It is like heaven on earth. So that is another fun version and a fun way. So I'm going to just mix my little fun salad. And I'm excited to try this because I've never tried this before. Did I put everything in there? Oh, you know what? I didn't get the cheese. That's okay. Because I'm going to really eat and the almonds aren't in there either. But see, this is the nice thing. And tell me what kind of salads you guys like. And what's your favorite kind of lettuce? So this is fun. And also, what are your favorite kind of nuts? You ever like to eat nuts in salads? I like nuts. So it looks like these are some almonds that are going to come. I'm going to save that. And oh my goodness, this cheese, I'm going to save that too. Because I want to get through this bowl. Otherwise, you're going to hear me making all kinds of noise. If I were to add that, you're going to be hearing all kinds of noise. So while I'm eating this salad, I just wanted to show and share with you my fun little recap of my vacation. It was part working remotely in the beginning, and then it was vacation. Truly, my vacation began the Tuesday that I was in Nashville. So here we go. Just a quick minute, but I just wanted to share with you my fun time. Took the red eye to be with one of my besties, Missy, whose daughter was graduating from high school. Spent time eating with the fam, having breakfast with friends, Lydia and Janeri. Spent some time shopping. Also was able to interview Megan Mitchell. Did you watch that interview? It was amazing. Time with Chloe, time with Tink, Pip, and Schwelters, and more Schwelters than walking. Alyssa, we went walking. Very green, very lush. Also spent some time by the pool. We went to go see Downton Abbey, which was released that Thursday. That was at the theater. There was the graduation with longtime friends. And there is the graduation girl herself. Congratulations, Gracie, with the family who came from all over the U.S. Jumped on a plane to celebrate this girl. And we spent time in Miami celebrating Sonia. She is the producer of our show, Eating and Eating. And pool at the Airbnb. Of course, we spent time on the water, more water, and lots of water. Photos, just enjoying each other so much. A little bit of Michael Jackson, I think, is what was happening there. It was a lot of laughter, a lot of love. We love Sonia so much. Spent wonderful time with dear friends. Of course, eating, sun, praying, and just celebrating each other. It was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time. It was so much fun. I was so excited that I got to do that. I actually couldn't think of the last time that I went on a real vacation where it's vacation. Like you're sleeping in late, you're eating, you're shopping, you're laying out by the pool. We went from the beach to the pool, to the jacuzzi, back to the pool. It was amazing. You almost feel guilty. But I was like, I can't think of the last time I did something like this. So it was a wonderful time. And this salad is tray yummy. I was like, So one of the fun things about the trip was the music. And we had fun music with the Bates, listening to the Gaithers, and old school, old time hymns. It was so much. It was just a beautiful time. Of course, listening to big band, playing cards. And then in Miami, it was salsa, merengue. It was a whole other vibe. But all that to say that vibes and rhythm and música is what is coming up next. So don't go away, because we will be right back with tonight's special guest right after this message. It's an all-new season 2, bringing you now more than ever before. You'll be inspired. Welcome to A New Thing Live. Now you get to lead everybody. Girl, you leading everybody doing that.
Let's just go for it.
Yes. You'll be strengthened.
So I was brought up to honor and respect our nation, to care for people all around the world, human dignity from the womb to the tomb.
We get real.
It's to impart. It's to empower. It's to equip.
Wow.
And to bring the healing and the restoration and freedom. That's like my big thing now.
And we have fun.
You're rocking that green.
Oh, well, this, yeah. We can switch. We're going where we've never gone before, and we're inviting you to come along. It's season 2 of A New Thing Live on Monday nights. Subscribe today. Do subscribe today. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe now. If you're watching us on Roku, and thank you, Creative Motion Network. We found out that our show was number 4, ranked number 4 on their network this past week. Maybe actually 2 weeks ago, with our interview with Megan Mitchell. So that's why I wanted to show that I interviewed her in Nashville while she was in the Nashville area, but we still did it virtually, which was a bummer, but I was so glad that she came on our show and just shared what she shared. So if you haven't yet watched it, take a look at that. But just such a wonderful, wonderful time. Okay, now, are you ready for our special guest? I'm so excited. Okay, before we bring him out, this guy, I've known him for, oh my goodness, I guess I should have written this down. It's had to have been at least, 10, 12 years. Actually knew his wife first, and then I met him through her, through their getting married. And I just have to say, this guy's salt of the earth, super uber talented, plays the keys, singer, drummer, entrepreneur, and a lot of fun. And just truly, I mean, he's one of these guys that when you hear him talk, it's like heart, and he's so authentic, and he's so himself. It makes me want to always stay grounded and keep true to who I am. And I'm so excited for you to meet him tonight and to hear about all the things that he's got going on. Some of the older things, but there's a whole lot of new going on in his world as well. So would you please bring out your drumsticks and help me welcome Mike Gerbrandt to A New Thing Live. Mike!
Oh, you had to stop that?
I can put it back on. I should have
back.
known. I should have known that you'd be giving it some of this.
Wow. Thanks for that.
I know.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
well,
Stop all that.
Oh,
you
my
look so
goodness,
tan. You look
seriously.
very tan. You're glowing, in fact.
I'm glowing. I know.
There's
and
this
honestly,
glow.
And this is gone. This glow is gone, but it's just real glow got going on.
Cake it on. That's what I say.
So glow.
Cyndi! Oh, how you doing?
I'm well, my friend. How are you?
Great, great.
Well, welcome to A
man.
New Thing Live.
Thanks. My
And you know
pleasure to
what?
be
I mean,
here.
did you know it's International Drum Month. We needed to bring a drummer, and I'm like, oh no.
I'm glad you did.
Not just any drummer. I know somebody who is incredible, amazing, when I have watched you back in your YouTube drumming days, I couldn't believe the way that you, is it drummed? Dram?
Yeah, no, past tense. You got it.
Drummed?
Mm-hmm.
Drumped? Like
You
dreamt?
done did drum. You could say it like that. I love the way you done did drum. Yeah,
Oh,
those
my
are
goodness.
fun.
So how are you doing? You're so many things. You're a songwriter. You're a producer. Are you? And I saw that you were with what, BMG and NBC, right?
Yeah,
As a
I have
songwriter,
stuff
producer?
with BMG, dabble with NBC. I don't like work for them, which
Okay.
probably is the best route. But anyway,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I'm
No, it's
good.
fine.
I'm good. I'm so glad to have you on here. And I'm excited because I'm having a feeling like once this interview happens, then I'm going to be able to get together and have some fun girl time with your wife.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yes.
It's kind of like a lunar eclipse like we had the other night.
Yeah. Oh, you know
you
what?
two getting together.
I missed it. I didn't see it. I knew it was coming and I get all excited and then I don't do anything else. I don't prep for it. I don't set alarms. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever even seen one.
It's just the kind of thing where someone says, "Hey, go outside," and then you're there.
Oh my! Did you get to see it?
Oh yeah, we got
you
like the Ataxerxes chairs. You know, I call those Ataxerxes chairs. You know, they're called something else,
Okay.
but it's similar. It's close enough. I like those.
I want to know what that Ataxerxes chair looks like. What does it look like?
You know, it's the kind that are out, you know, on the front lawn, just all beautiful and in the movies.
Well, hello. That could
What
be
was it?
any number
What
of
was it?
myriad of-
Adirondack. That's what they're actually called, but I like to call them Ataxerxes. It's just those fun, intentional misnomers. I'm all about those.
Okay. And it's Adirondack. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of
Good
fun-
luck with Googling that. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how to spell it.
I know I won't.
Okay.
So, you know, the best I'm gonna steamroll you a little bit and just launch into pretty much our first experience together, just real quick, just to kind of like
do it.
So you'll remember this well, but we haven't talked about it in a long time. You'll have to refresh me a little if this was I don't think this was our first interaction. It might have been our second. Like it wasn't our first meeting, or maybe it was. So Christy brings you along. I think it was like a music clinic I was doing, maybe, but that's
was it in
not.
LA?
But it was like in Echo Park, but that's not the point of the story at all. So we're like, it's done. We leave. We're like, yeah, let's go hang out. I don't know who chose bowling in Hollywood. You remember this
Probably
now?
me. That probably would have been me that chose.
Probably you, because I wouldn't have said, why would we go to Hollywood? Gross.
Was it on Sunset? Was it on Hollywood Highland?
Yeah. So, but if you'll recall, and maybe it was our first meeting, but I get all crazy sick. And like, I don't get sick. I don't get sick like pretty much ever. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was some food poisoning, something we ate. And I literally felt so terrible. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to like ruin our time. And I bring along a plastic bag and I'm like vomiting the whole way there. So do you remember this now?
No.
Are you for real? I vomit the
Maybe
whole way
you were
there.
throwing up so quietly and graciously.
That was probably it. So vomit the whole way there. We get to the bowling alley there on Sunset and we order some stuff. And I got a really nice sort of what turned out to be a medicinal kind of like vegetable soup or lentil soup. I don't remember exactly what kind of soup, but right as rain. And I think we bowled.
Yeah.
It's overshadowed by all the
all the vomiting.
All the vomiting. Anyway, there it was, memory lane. And guess what? Just to correct you a little bit, 15 years.
Do. I always need correction, brother.
15 years is Christy and I've been married. So we've known each other 15 plus years.
How many plus 15 plus?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We're about to hit 16 in a couple weeks here.
You know, it's so fun. And I hope everyone's enjoying this conversation as much as you and I are. But one of the things that still gets me to this day, and every time I hear, and you already know, because I think I already texted you, every time I hear the opening to Head Over Heels,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
every time I think about you and how you played that at your wedding. So you come out. So I was a bridesmaid in your wedding, which you know, but the viewers don't know. And Eric Diaz, we didn't know he was in the wedding as a
Woo!
groomsman. He and I didn't even know each other back then. And I think within the last couple of years, we realized that we were both in your wedding. We could not believe it.
How cool is that?
That is so cool. I'm trying to get him on the show too, so you can talk with him about that.
Yeah, do it.
But we laugh at how you said, "Oh, I wrote a song for Christy. I'm going to play it now." You sit down and then you start off with da na 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 na.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a taste.
Yeah,
I did
yeah. I was like, "Oh no,
I
no,
did
no."
like 7 bars and then I ease off and then I just said, "Oh no, that's not it."
Yeah,
And then I played her actual song.
the actual song. I love that. Well, my friend, I mean, you're just so amazing. And I have just, ever since the first time, yes, I came to one of your clinics, I'm like, this guy is music intensified, like to the umpth degree. So highly.
Mm.
And I know there's musical instruments that you played that I didn't even mention. I feel like maybe it's the upright bass or the cello. Is it one of those?
Sure, I
You
love
do the bass
those. I
too?
love those. Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Two
How
of my
did you get
favorites.
started with music? Because you do all kinds of things and then you're creative. And then I'm like, people that are out there that are creative, sometimes it's like people go, well, what are you gonna do for a living? What are you gonna do for real? And it's like, well, no, I am doing what I'm doing for real.
Right.
It's like people
Especially
want to
in
put
music.
people in right. People want to put people in these like administrative corporate boxes. And I'm like, we're going to just talk about some of these things because you're here on the show and you are uber creative. And not only that, but I had no idea until getting ready for this episode that you launched a Surreal escape game company. What in
Boom.
the world?
Boom. That's right.
What are you up to, Mike Gerbrandt? Talk
Oh
to
my
us.
goodness. Okay. I wear a few hats, as they say.
Yes.
So I guess I have 4 jobs. So first of all, really, I'm a dad and dad/foster dad. So Christy and I have 3 Trace Niños, and they're 14 and 12 and 10. And then we are also foster parents. We have a little sibling set. When you say it like that, it kind of is like you bought trinkets from like Dollar Tree, like a little sibling set. It's kind of fun. So they're the cutest things. They're 1.5 and 2.5.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I know. I would like, you're not technically allowed to like post photos, show photos, anything like that, like online. So, it's just for those that in the back of their mind, let's see photos. Sorry, we can't. And that's rocked our worlds in many ways. And it's broken us down, built us back up, broken us again, strengthened us, fortified. It's done a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
So, and I can talk her up for a second, but she does event production. Some people watching this know what she does, but I won't go off the rails. But she works for a high-end event and catering company where her mind is crazy. Like she can A to Z anything and just make it perfect and make it go and make it great. So, so in her doing that, I get to be Mr. Mom 4 days a week and I like it. It's really cool.
And actually,
yeah. And with the littles, they started going into preschool a couple months ago. That's been like, just like that.
Talk about falsetto.
Thank you. Yeah. Some sanity, a little more sanity and more time to write for sure.
Sure.
I never stop writing and ideas just always come and I never stop, kind of formulating, composing, singing. yet the recording part is hard with little people running around. So that's kind of nice because it affords some more time. Anyway, I went into the next job of my 4 jobs, which is songwriting, producing. So, and that's just been crazy fun, just a really fun to actually be doing, as like career-wise, be actually able to write and record and have stuff out there, work with a few labels, have stuff have little bits of music on little TV shows, little ad things and stuff like that. And that's kind of me likey this way. Cause I never really, was trying to be the guy, like, hang on, like the guy in the spotlight. If I put my hair down, I could kind of be like
like the flock of seagulls.
The artist,
Yes.
Retweet my tweet. Okay, that's enough. That's silly.
Retweeting your tweet.
No, but I really do love being able to write and produce and be, more just the behind the scenes songwriter kind of thing. So what's the third? Oh, I teach, and
right.
I've had the utter pleasure and extreme honor to be a professor. I teach music at a little old school called, I don't know, Life Pacific University.
Hello.
Yeah. Where
Nice.
I also did my bachelor's. So, and I've taught there like 7 years. I hopped right over to APU, Azusa Pacific University. If I say
Alumni.
APU, yeah. But like, outside of California, pretty much nobody knows what that is. So you have to say Azusa Pacific University. And I did
Even
music.
inside California, some people
Sure.
Let's be
but
real.
I did a relatively, still a new program. It's only been going, I think, 6 years now. It was like in its second year when I started it. And it was called Music Entrepreneurial Studies. It's very long. So since they've shortened it down to music industry, which is good, which is smart.
I like that.
Because I think a lot of kids trying to like ask their parents like, hey, I want to go do this. They're like, what's that? Music entrepreneurial junk. So anyway, okay. So on from that. So my 4th job, which you already are plugging for me a little. Thank you so much. Let's rewind about a decade, maybe even 12 years. These things called escape games started flooding into our major cities here in the US, mainly from like Russia and definitely out of Asia. But and I started. I loved the idea. I played a couple escape games, and then just started thinking like, well, wait, you could do like crazy stuff like this, but without a room. Pause for dramatic effect. And so, just wheels got turning. I actually wrote a couple of experiences, like was, hired, commissioned, whatever you call it, to write a couple of full-on like designs for an escape room that was going to be opening. And this is, I want to say 2015. And then it was over for me. And by over, I mean just beginning. A new thing, Cyndi.
Yes.
And that new thing was like, oh yes, I love this. And so I decided, that word is important, by the way. We'll get back to that word. But I decided, like this could really be a thing. And so there may be others somewhere, somehow doing stuff like this. But when I say we, very very nonchalantly, like I run a very large operation with many, many people. It's pretty much me and my oldest daughter, and my son, Colton, also really wants in on some games. And then I have 3 or 4 others as well, other agents. I like to call them my agents. It's so great. Cyndi, they're my agents. We're in the business of blowing minds. So that's basically what we do. We create unique experiences for all group sizes and ages, Cyndi, all of them.
Wow.
So it's what's really cool and fun about it is, I would never put down escape rooms, for the sake of market competition and stuff like that. They're awesome. And I've played a lot of them. I don't know. Compared to some, I've not played a lot. I've played maybe 20 plus games. And if you haven't, go play one. They're awesome. One, can I throw out a little recommendation? Because I love to recommend them.
Please do.
Especially when it comes to down in your neck of the woods. They're in East Anaheim, and they're called Crossroads Escape Games.
Oh.
And if everyone watching, if you don't go play Crossroads Escape Games, I'm going to show up in the middle of the night at your residence and start a whole weird, crazy game that you'll never even be able to get out of. And I realize as I say that sounds like a threat. And so I digress. But anyway, Crossroads is amazing. I played them for my birthday, I don't know, 4 years back, and it's so good, so brilliant. So I guess that's kind of the general, in a nutshell with Surreal Escape Games. We've done small little groups all the way up to we actually just did one for 100 and something students for their prom.
Wow.
And where it was different stations around this whole ballroom, and they're interacting with us as characters and trying to figure out, who stole the vintage Charlie Chaplin films? Who stole them? I even used my British accent. I'm saying to everyone, we've got 60 minutes starting now. Look, get on this, and having them figure out this whole mystery, and a lot of fun. But it's that word I was using earlier, the decided part, is a big deal. And when I teach, I guess back to the prior job talking about teaching, but I teach a music business class that I wrote. And when we're talking about production and releasing music, this is huge. And hopefully this becomes, a highlighted section in our talk, because there's songwriting and arranging and designing. There's the artwork factor, what's the vibe of this whole thing, and working out getting that sweet photo or getting a designer to it. You've got stuff now you're recording and you're mixing, and are you getting other musicians in? And then you're finally at mastering. There's just all these steps. But what is, Cyndi, what is the most important step in the entire process? From start to finish, where and what is that most important step? And I don't expect you to answer, because I told you the answer. It's to decide. Because if we don't really do that, and you know what I mean, not just the what cereal am I eating this morning, decide, but that resolve of okay, I'm going to do this, And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place to pause something, and even maybe a time and a place to abandon something when it's okay, I bit off way too much. But that's not what this interview's about, right? I'll tell my.
But we went there.
Yeah, we went there.
And I'm actually following. I'm taking.
Yeah, girl.
I'm a
Take
note
those notes.
taker.
So Cindy's taking notes. She's like, okay, here's the back door. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, you gotta decide. And maybe even that's something. Oh, this is a good one. Especially just to those songwriters out there, because a lot of creatives, I'm sure, tune in. Deciding on your genre is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
I've had just, sporadically, I'll have songwriters. And actually, when I say I've had, so this was me prior to like even a decade ago, for sure. Oh, well, I've got this really broad range, so I can totally do like the indie rock, okay, indie polka, but then I go metal, like full on. I also do interpretive dance where there's no sound.
Oh.
No, but it is important because you once you really get into the thick of trying to sell music,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother ball game.
Mm-hmm.
There's really you're just you end up running in circles, like you're chasing your tail. So deciding on your genre and then doing that crazy well
Yeah.
is a big deal. So, and I'm all for expanding your craft and adding creativity, adding richness, and I don't want to get too like involved in like theory wise, but like adding chords, like I'm a big fan of reharmonization and fun chords and stuff. But so this is a spot maybe for you to chime in, Cyndi, because you asked about something that was inspiring. Was it specifically a song or just something that inspired you?
Yeah, I just like to know what
recently?
inspires you, and I think your response had to do with Imogene Heap.
Oh.
I'll take it as that was correct.
So my oldest, Cammie, and I, because all my kids sing and they love, they're aspiring, and more than that, I mean, they're doing it. They're practicing different instruments, and they all sing. Cammie and I, this was fresh when I was like considering that question. So it was like it had been the day before or something. Long story short, she and I are talking about. Okay, I have to give a little context. We were talking about Dua Lipa and how, if you don't know this, but fun fact, Dua Lipa was sued twice in a matter of a few days over levitating.
Oh.
And it's super interesting stuff. You can just go and YouTube it because I'm not going to like go into that whole can of worms, but she was sued over that song. And so Cammie and I, my daughter, were talking about this idea of originality and how, sorry, my hand is in the way, I just realized, and how original, how original
Yeah.
things need to be. It's like you can't get sued for not being original enough, or can you? But anyway, okay. So we were talking about different songs, different structures of songs. We were talking about chord changes and whatnot. And this song came to mind, The Dumbing Down of Love.
Mm.
Woo! So...
I don't know that song. I don't know it, so I can't.
Escuche, esta es la cosa. Okay. The song has 2 chords.
Oh, wow.
So, and this is why it's like a big deal to me, because I've historically, I would say, and I've just been, I think maybe this is just a me starting to get older. See the term? I have very choice words, starting to get older.
Yes.
I
haven't even begun.
So. No, you have a
me.
while before even starting. It cannot be that it's just more chords for the sake of more chords. Like more chords make a song better. No.
Sure.
Do I believe though that the majority of pop is watered down, bottom of the barrel, cash grab music? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yet, if you go listen to this song, and maybe people could even, is it okay that I tell them, hey, you could even pause it sometime on as you're watching this?
Sure. Tell them to pause it.
And go search up. That's what my kids say. Go search it up. Do you say that? I always chuckle. when
I
they
just
say that.
Google. I don't ever
search it up.
search it up.
But go listen to the Dumbing Down of Love, and hopefully you can be. Maybe it's nighttime, maybe not. Maybe you're in your car, and we can get a little bit of that SMSRS or whatever they call that, where my voice is extremely close. Is that too much? Is it clipping?
It's not. I don't think we're clipping, but I won't know until I
And
watch the replay.
and you can go in total silence. Hopefully not while you're driving, because this song owns. When I was in high school and we played Counter-Strike, that was the term. You just got owned.
Okay.
And when
So
Eric
this song
Diaz,
owns you.
when Eric Diaz and I and Chris, we'd all play Halo. We'd be like, "You got owned, bro." Oh, he owns. He's really good at Halo. Okay, so glad you're back listening to the Dumbing Down of Love, and hopefully, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but maybe you're crying, because this song,
wow.
it is 2 chords, and the thing is, it's not about having more chords. It's about the craft.
Mm-hmm.
It's about taking the gift of music, because all of it is a gift, and how that actually manifests, and the craft that you're willing to put into that. So just really incredible. Like that was inspiring, because you have to be able to use what you're given. I mean, it's like, and that was one of the points I put down, is like, use it or lose it.
Yes, I like
use
that
it
you
or
said
lose
that.
it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. It's biblical too. I love that it's biblical.
It absolutely is. If you don't use it, you do lose it. It gets lost.
Physically, and guess what? All the others. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yep.
I'm learning this for sure physically, because as starting to get older, if I don't get out there on that little run, if I'm not getting on my lift and getting the pull-ups and the sit-ups going and stuff, man, I'm noticing that sooner.
Yeah.
If I don't use it, I'm going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't sing, sometimes I'll drum, like on a Sunday at church. And if that happens like twice in a row and I wasn't singing at all, like singing backup or anything, and I'm just kind of like, I don't need to sing in the car or just warm up or do whatever. After like 2 weeks, I'm like,
yeah.
got to get some of that emergency you recommended.
Yes. Do you need one?
For a moment. Virtual emergency?
Well,
Good Lord, technology.
I love how you pronounce it. You call it emergency. I just say, I need an emergency.
I think this is part of their whole thing, Cyndi. I think it says emergency.
You're right. There is an emphasis on the C. Emergency. Okay.
Hopefully that is not the major, the bombshell, the quotable from our interview.
No, it's not. It's not.
Did you watch that interview? It's called Emergency. Hand that to me. Give it. It's called Emergency. Anyway.
So I'm not writing it down though. So
it says it on the packet.
Not life changing. I know it's true. It's true.
Is that's got to be a column, not life changing. On this side.
So many questions though that I still
Oh my
have
goodness,
for
I'm
you.
sorry. I know that I talked for a long time.
No,
I'm trying to
it's
tell
all
myself, because I'm such a talker, I'm trying to tell myself,
don't talk so much.
A little bit less, make the words matter more and talk a little less. So
I love it. I love everything you're saying. So don't even worry about it.
Oh, yes.
But you're talking about the different genres, and I really like that you tackled that, because I think there is something so important about that. How did you, I would say, whittle it down, but how did you narrow it down to, what would you say your genre? I do remember I own a CD that you and Christy wrote. It was a worship album, but there were some other songs on there, and it just was good stuff. I feel like you're one of those just deep musicians. I would put you in the same category as like Sting.
Oh,
No, just the way that you write and your music is so deep and it's complex. Tommy Walker does complex music as well. But how did you determine like, okay, this is gonna just be the genre that I focus on? And then when you write and you songwrite for other artists, are you creating songs that's your genre, or is it something that they're saying, we need a country song, we need some gospel, we need, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, totally.
And I do terrible accents, so I don't even know why I did that. But
I was really into that accent.
talk, talk to us about how you determined what your genre. How did you find this is really who I am, what I am as a creative, and then the crossing over into writing for others that are outside of that genre.
Yeah, Cyndi, I'm glad you asked that. Let me go ahead and speak to that. So starting from the part 2 and working backwards, it's a whole nother ball game writing for somebody else, because you got to chameleon the heck out of the thing. You know, if you want to get paid. So if there is like I guess, I mean, deals all look different. It depends on how it's like written up, but usually there is some sort of, there's something there already. Usually it's, what I mean is it's not, at least this has been my experience, and maybe for others it's different, but from what I know of and people I know, I mean, there's usually some sort of idea, and either that's a concept or a hook, or like the chorus is done and we just need the rest of the song, or you know what I mean? There's usually like something in the works, and you cannot just start doing stuff that you like. And this is actually one of the earliest lessons I sort of had to learn, not related to writing for others, but even just in songwriting in general. Don't always assume that everyone is going to want to listen to your song / like your song. It's tough, but it's true. It's like one of those tough realities. And working back to the first part, so finding my genre, what's funny is that I feel like I've really just found that only the last few years.
Oh, wow,
and
okay.
it's basically like alt pop, and alt is a tricky abbreviation for alternative. The funny thing about alternative, though, is that it can kind of, like today, alternative can mean literally anything else, like anything other than mainstream. But I have, and I guess I should throw this out there, because, you know, if you go, I don't really have anything except one EP on streaming. And this is kind of on purpose. I kind of said it earlier, but I'm not like the guy, you know, trying to have the artist career. But one collection, there's an EP, there's 5 songs that I did on BMG production music that they said, yeah, let's put this out on streaming. So that's on streaming. So like, if you look at my name, you can find that. And it's like, this stuff is, the EP is called People, and it's R&B, soul, right in there. But the stuff I have been coming up with now the last couple of years is definitely like this alt pop. And it's funny because you kind of complimented my falsetto, but I sing like primarily in falsetto, Cyndi. Because the thing was, I started, this is 2 years ago, so not that long ago, 2.5 years ago, started kind of putting feelers out with a couple of tunes, and even like not even finished tunes, just to like some people I trust, and, you know, just sounding board, just, hey, give me your feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, you know, I don't want to sound all that, because I'm literally a very, very small piece of what we might consider a larger collective of consciousness that is currently spinning 91,000 miles an hour, you know,
Yeah.
around the globe that is actually spinning, but feels like I'm sitting still, like as I sit here. No, we're not sitting still. And that still blows my mind. But,
Yes.
so I started putting some of these things out, and I would get like they would be like 3 separate people that don't even know each other. Like one, like an exec, and then a couple of production people would say like, hey, this is like, you're channeling Prince. And I was like, okay, yeah, I totally was not thinking that or trying to,
Interesting.
sound like Prince. And there was just, other various things that had I said to myself, now here's the don't give up. Are you ready? She's liking this. She's eating the salad. You're going to finish it? Finish that thing. What you need is arugula. You know, when you order your Blaze pizza,
Oh,
after it's out of the oven, you ask for some arugula on top.
that sounds bomb.
Bomb diggity.
Yeah. We'll have another conversation about my favorite Blaze pizza. But that sounds like bomb right there.
Bombtastic. So all that to say, I just mean that sometimes it can take a while to like really find that stride and find that sound. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel that this really is much bigger than music and much bigger even than the creative. This can be like if you're like a hardcore business person with this cool idea, and you're like, I want to do this now, and that's cool. But if you employ a bit of patience, what you like, little do you know, then in 5 years, the idea you have right now, when you're like deep into some research and you're doing some prototyping and I don't know, other technical business words that people say, then boom, you hit that crazy stride and it totally takes off. Whereas if you were to like, okay, I'm going to like after 6 months, I've had this idea, I talked to some people and I'm going to rent this space and stuff. And then,
yeah.
So hope that makes sense. Just kind of riffing on that.
Well, I mean, don't, what I'm getting from that is just, kind of what you said earlier, just don't give up. And then there is something to be said about, staying true to that, to, what you're producing, so obviously you didn't know that you were channeling the Prince thing, but that's, to me, it just sounds like that's just kind of what was already inside you. I mean, music in general, it sounds like it was inside you as well, because you're doing other things as well. But I don't know. That's just kind of my takeaway from that. And I think that's important because that can be applicable to any business, not just music, absolutely.
Right. Sort of the cliche, forgive me, but cliche, like trusting your instincts. There's
follow your dream, follow your heart, follow your path, all those different things that we hear, but there is some truth to that. But anyway, you were saying something and I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Well, staying true to yourself in that, cause that's the other kind of portion of that cliche, right? Like staying true to yourself. But like why that's so powerful is that we all feel that moment when we're not. We all feel that moment of like, I don't really say that. Why did I say that? Or I wouldn't play. That just didn't feel right.
Yes. Because you're not being yourself.
Yeah. The authenticity factor. Actually, that's an entire, that's one entire, it is. And it's an entire lecture that I'll do, like one whole class.
Oh, that's so good.
In my music business class is literally just like the authenticity. Like it's kind of in the ethics realm of like, look, the bottom line is if you're not authentic, like how are fans like gonna really like identify and really like attach to you long term? Like that's not gonna work.
It's so good. Can I chime in? I remember having that aha moment. So I don't remember, this was in the early 90s. And, I had all these different worship leaders that I was, they were mentoring me, but they didn't know they were mentoring me,
Yeah.
because they didn't know me. I was just like listening to their albums or, attending maybe a church service where they would lead worship. And then I would try to lead worship the way they were leading worship. And it just didn't feel right. It was like, well, why are you, everyone just, can we just, I, they were
Totally.
I'm just happy because that's not me, right? I'm loud, I'm like obnoxious a little bit. And I just
I
and
love
so it
it.
really took the Lord just showing me different worship leaders and then really having me see how they all led differently. And they led with how he created them to lead with their personality, their vocal, their tone, their movement. And so that freed me up. And when I lead worship, I'm a little bit like Tina Turner.
Get it, Tina. Bobby B.
I really just had to and not think about people. And it's not for everybody. It ain't for everybody. But every worship leader isn't for everybody. But I know once I was authentic and leading worship the way that, I'm an alto, sometimes a tenor. So sometimes I would even lead worship harmonizing. And I would say, I need you, the soprano, to step it up because you're going to have to lead the melody, but I will still lead the song.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of worship, and this is more my, my music world. So this is what I'm relaying, with regards to what we're talking about. But I'll still hear worship leaders today singing in keys that it's hot. It's painful because you can tell it's high for them. Yeah. Bring it down into a key that feels comfortable for you so that you can comfortably lead in your authentic vocal. If you're not a first soprano, maybe you're second soprano, whatever.
Totally.
The other thing that I sometimes hear and I go, oh no, is like, there's so many different now styles, even more have multiplied now, like the Lauren Daigle sounding type songs and Madeline Peru and these different type of vocal singers that, maybe they existed, but maybe not so much back in my day. But then I'll hear other now new like ones that are learning and I'll hear them mimic the way that worship leader sings that exact song.
Sure.
And it's like, no, well, you don't need to pronounce it like that because you're not Australian or
Right. Or you remember between 2010 and 2012 where every girl worship leader sounded like Kim Walker.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I just all that to say when I started leading with who I was, then it felt right. And I was in my sweet spot while leading worship and I wasn't stressed. I wasn't, worried if my voice was going to crack because I was in a comfortable key.
Yeah.
And I made my own rules. People would say, well, you can't lead worship singing the harmony. Well, why not? Who said that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah. It's not songwriting.
There's work to be done when examining yourself. Maybe that's like a big part of it. Okay. Yeah. I tell my students this all the time. Ready for this one?
Yes.
God created you to do things you thought you couldn't do.
Huh. Wow. Where did you go?
That's me. That's I dropped the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, if you think about that,
Yeah.
So
no, that's so good.
This is most evident, or this is simply, like look at sports or, anything that especially in a muscle memory sort of context, we can all remember at least one example of that was so hard before. Now I do it all the time, and I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. So not just, you know, something like sports or like, okay, for me, you know, musically, if I'm like a scale that used to be difficult. And even when that's like, we can be grateful, right? We can take a moment for gratefulness. And we're like, because I think back to like, I remember learning this, you know, as like a 6-year-old, this like, let's say it's like a Haydn or, you know, just like something classical that I'm playing now. And I'm like, yeah, I remember this one spot. This was like, oh, I couldn't get it, you know? Now you can do certain things in your sleep.
That was me with the Turkish march.
There you go.
Ugh.
There you go. So God created you to do things you thought you couldn't do.
Yeah.
So there has to be, like, that has to be motivating.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. What would you say, you know, to somebody who they just feel this call to only do like creative things or only do music, but they're having this external pressure from people to do more, you know, what society is saying is what everybody needs. Well, you need to go to school. You need to do the degree. You need to, you know, you need to work a 9 to 5. You know, what would you say to somebody who's kind of struggling with what their heart wants to do, but what other people think to do?
I would say exactly what my mentor said to me. I have a few, but this guy is really special. He's called David Pinkston. I know that name rings a bell for you, Cyndi, a little bit. And every time I say that, I feel like I got to switch back to the British accent, because when you say, this man called David Pinkston of Pasadena.
Yes.
And
I don't do it. I'm not going to try.
I'll never forget one of the first times we sat down, and this came up in a kind of a different way, but spot on. He said, we're human beings. We're not human doings. We're human beings. And a lot of us do not know how to be very well, just to be.
Wow.
So for that person that's hearing this and is like, okay, well, I did that. I gotta do this next, and then okay, my parents are saying this. I gotta do that. And I said, did I do that right? And I did that. So I'm gonna make this list, to-do list, this to-do list. Crap. Okay, I got checked off half of these. I didn't do that. Okay, what am I gonna do then? And you know what? Actually, okay, we have to with side note. We're breaking into this just for a sec because it's a big deal. When did you know this? When we are, let's say, shoot, I'm not a scientist, and our chief justices aren't either in the Supreme Court. But look, when we are constantly on alert in the way of like needing to do something or needing the next thing, and this is not a play on a new thing. I'm talking about needing something, you know, we're anxious and we're needing the next thing.
Yep.
The brain has a hormone. I don't know if it's technically a hormone. There's a chemical called cortisol. For the scientists watching, know this is true. And this is especially useful in situations of fight or flight or freeze. We know this is the fight or flight chemical, cortisol. The problem is, Cyndi, tons of us are on this whoop, 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 whoop,
Yep.
whoop, constantly. Next thing. Oh, what? You got? Give me a second. Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got anything? Sure. Oh, yeah. Did you see? Oh, yeah. No, go talk to her, man. No, go talk to her. I'm going to DM her. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Constant next thing. Cortisol. It's kind of like, picture like a IV drip of just cortisol. And that does not allow and this is like, you can go look this stuff up and look up medical journals and all that good stuff. You know, I back up everything I say. No, for real, what happens is the body cannot regenerate like it's meant to. So we wonder why we're seeing especially over a couple of decades, but in the last 5 to 10 years, a rise in cancer, a rise in other diseases. And there are other factors, don't get me wrong. Some people are out there like, no, it's this, no, it's that. That's also probably true.
Yeah.
But this is like, that's the real epidemic. Holy cats. That's the real epidemic, is that if we're always about like, oh, gotta do, next thing, we can't regenerate. We can't just be. Oh, snap. It's so much better to just be.
Yeah.
So that was like, hang on, that was a little bit ethereal as far as answering the question. And I would probably just add to that person listening, they just don't know what to do. Simply put, you just have to be first. Just be, and do that really well. Take up some meditation and, maybe have like a greens smoothie. Have one of Cindy's Trader Joe's salads that she did the work for you. She recommended it. There it is. So anyway, wow, you got me going, Cyndi. You really got me.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Keep singing.
That's a good song. I know there's quite a few versions too. I don't know which one is your favorite, but
I gotta say I'm a sucker for Van Halen's version.
I was gonna say,
though I can't
Van Halen.
I can't officially recommend it because it can be taken as a little bit promiscuous.
Yes.
And a little bit over the line.
But I am a product of the 80s.
Yes. And it's how we feel sometimes.
Yes. That's the Police and Flock of Seagulls, some of my Tears for Fears and some of those other references that I've made. Oh, I know. I think I said, Head Over Heels is Tears for Fears.
Yes.
So good. So good. So yeah, you talked about 3 things that are important to you. Don't quit. You talked about that right now. Not quitting and then not giving up, and then use it or lose it. And then you also, the number 1 was value the person in front of you. Talk to us more about that for a quick minute.
Yeah. So that's just a perfect icing on the cake of being, really. I was actually in a conversation last week with a friend about, they're considering moving, and that's a big decision. A lot of people are moving, especially out of our lovely state of California. Basically, what I had to offer in that conversation was in the way of, hey, just chill and just be, because the right path will be made a lot more clear, when you're just like not just anxious about it and everything. And just like, if I look at this is where like I bring it home on that, is that if I look at the teachings of Jesus, he's my homeboy. I love that dude. And if I look at his teachings, I just don't really find a whole lot there's a little bit, but I don't find a whole lot of, sometimes we'll hear terms about like, of divine appointment, which that is an absolutely real thing. So don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And being, here for such a time as this, absolutely a great reference as well. I think way more prevalent and way more, summing up like his teachings and the heart of Jesus is just love the person in front of you.
Yeah, that's good.
So in that conversation with the friend, I was kind of able to just say, like, how's it going with those relationships though, where they were, because that if that is the factor that's driving us to like get out, and that can be a good thing, no problem. But if you can just like simmer and just think like, oh man, wow, I could have made a really big mistake then if just that was the reason. Because like somebody else said that, what's that other thing? You take you with you. Oh, did it again.
Yes.
That whole
We
thing
do
is
take
true.
us with us everywhere.
It's totally
we go.
true.
Yes.
Yeah. So just loving the one in front of you, I think, is like so much of. I feel like you could make a smoothie of a lot of Jesus teachings.
Yeah.
And you Vitamix that stuff, and it comes out. Just love the person in front of you.
That's so good. That's so good. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think especially in times of like where we're at right now, those are just solid words to grasp and to hold on to. Because I feel like there's,
Yeah.
and we know that the word talks about that the love of many will grow cold in the last days.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give somebody like me who's saying, well, I am a believer, doesn't give me the right to also allow that to happen. Like I still have to fight to love regardless of even how I'm treated or how things that are done to me, and valuing the person, in front of me as well. So that's so good, Mike. Oh my goodness. Well, there's so many things I still would love to, talk. I was excited kind of looking at your Voyage LA article, and I saw that with regards to your business, you talked about doing something fun for the LAPD, and that sounded like so much fun. Where was that?
That was nuts. We were
at Waddle's Mansion in Hollywood.
We were so unprepared for that. And by that, I don't mean when we got to that day. I just mean that. So that was actually like our third. We had done some games, but that was our third brought to you game, which now it's like all we do. But we used to do a lot more games, like at Santa Anita Mall.
Okay.
And where it was like the same game every time. And we were in cahoots with them all to use like several areas, nothing in stores. It was cool, but then they got new management, and this gal called me up. She's like, you need to stop this right away. I said something else, and I'm like, hey, no problem. No, this is funny. No problem. Yeah, sure. Okay. You got it. And then she told me all of it again. We see that. You need to stop. Cease and desist. I said, hey, I hear you. Okay, no problem. She told me a third time. And she said, if you don't stop, we'll threaten legal. And I said, okay, thank you. And that was it. But
wow.
I probably took way too much time on that, but it was a fun conversation. Maybe that was me just working that out internally.
Sure. We're here for you.
Let me just, if I could just, I'm going to go over that conversation one more time. Start the clock, Cyndi. So the other thing she said to me. Okay. So
how did you feel when that happened?
How did that make you feel?
What did it take you back to? Any moments of your childhood? Actually, I mean, not too long ago, but maybe a few years ago, went through some of that with Pastor Robbie Booth, and it did wonders. Yes. And now it causes me to think through those types of things and questions all the time.
Robbie
so thankful for it, though.
Robbie is an angel in the skin clothing of a man.
Wow.
He and his wife Bonita, both of them.
Yes.
But I guess so Waddle's Mansion, that was crazy fun. I mean, it was so exhilarating because here we were, we had maybe been going a year. And they, and we do this whole murder mystery for like, I don't know, there was 30 plus of them.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just so much fun. Actually needed, in retrospect, should have designed down a little bit because they did have some drinks going on, Cyndi.
Oh, okay.
So as it turned out, I mean.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I did some things as we, in the moment to sort of, we always like give little hints or whatever. But it was definitely a little more difficult than it should have been. So we adjusted, but that's part of what we do. We adjust.
Yeah.
We're bobbing.
Flexible.
We're weaving. but that was
Oh, my
crazy fun.
goodness.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, is there anything else that you want to leave us with? Any other things you want to drop on us before we
Oh
bid you
goodness.
a farewell? We have a fun quick game we're going to end with as well, but it's all rhythm related. So
Let's go to the game. I mean,
wanna
as
go to
much
the
as I'd
game?
love to, yeah, because I feel like we covered
Okay.
everything. Feels good. Feels right.
All right, let's go to the game. Okay, so it's a little trivia. It's a little
I'm ready.
drummer trivia. And I'm like, okay, I think you can get them because I think I can get them.
Okay.
So there are only 5 questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So first question, this lead singer and drummer is in a band that happens to be the same name as the first book in the Bible.
Genesis. What is Genesis?
Okay. Yes. What is Genesis? And the name of the drummer is
Phil Collins.
Woo! Yes.
Talk about an
Okay.
astounding songwriter.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Studio. I never get tired of. I never get the name of the title though, but I can feel it. That one. I don't even know all the words. It's just
That whole thing.
Because
That whole thing was the title.
In
In the air tonight. It's in the air tonight.
the air tonight. I was thinking it's like something happened on the way.
And a
Okay.
little bit lesser known tune, Land of Confusion, is my personal favorite.
Oh, I don't know.
So go look that up. And it's especially relevant today in our day and age. Okay. Number 2. Sorry.
Okay. Number 2. This female percussionist rose to fame with her hit song, The Glamorous Life.
Is that Sheila E?
That would be Sheila E.
Okay. I was like,
You don't need
oh yeah, of course.
a glamorous life. She don't need. Yeah. You got it. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Number
Okay.
3. This English percussionist overcame the amputation of his left arm in January 1985 and continued to play with the band.
I know this.
2 words, the band's name, 2 words.
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Cyndi, what is Def Leppard?
What is Def Leppard?
No. Excuse me. Who was Def Leppard?
Who was Def Leppard? And his name is Richard John Cyril Allen.
Woo!
Richard John. Yeah. Okay. Number 4. So you got
RJSA.
3 out of 3. Number 4. This famous English drummer's nickname was Bonzo. Clue. The band is Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
What is
John
the
Bonham.
drummer's
Come
name?
on. Cyndi, you're just lobbing that to me like a girls like a 8-year-old girls softball team. It's not even softball. That was that was, what do they call T-ball?
T-ball.
Where you put it on the thing.
On the little, and then you go, here you go. Boop.
Here you go, love.
I can't reach it, Daddy.
All right, let's go. Hey,
John
better. Let's go.
Yeah, like John Bonham was all I played like all up in like 1992.
That is awesome. All right. Okay, Mike. Are you ready for number 5, the last one?
Hang on. Okay.
Oh, he's standing up now.
Okay, go. All right,
Okay.
go.
This drummer was the main drummer for this famous 90s rock band, then later went on to be a founder of the band called the Foo Fighters.
Dave Grohl. Who is Dave Grohl?
Who is Dave
Boom!
Grohl? You got him all right, my friend.
Yes. What do I
5 out of
win?
5. We're going to be
What do I
sending you a
win?
Starbucks card.
Oh no.
Oh, unless you don't like Starbucks.
Oh yeah, no, I do.
You're like, oh no.
Wow,
Oh,
great trivia.
Well, that would be Kiri, our segment producer. She came up with the questions.
I like it. I like how they were right on the line.
Right on the line. Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I knew Phil Collins and Sheila E. had to be 2 of the 3, and then she found the others, and I had no clue who they was. So
I don't know
I
who
was
them
like,
was.
well, I don't know who. I did know that Def Leppard though had the drummer with one arm. I
Yeah,
do remember
man.
that.
And fun fact, he even had a couple of pedals over on the left side that would like hit a couple drums. Pedal for a snare drum, a couple other pedals. It's pretty cool.
Wow. What's your favorite genre to play drums?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Cyndi, because that would be, some call it tech rock.
Oh.
Generally, we're talking metal, but when a lot of people think of metal, they think of death metal. And I'm not talking death metal. Tech rock, like also AKA mathcore, is stuff. It's just your blood's pumping and you're trying to count stuff. And you're like, I need to go back to grades. I need to go back to kindergarten. It's like, it's like out there and, complex like time signatures and stuff like that.
That's
if anyone wants to check out a group, Animals as Leaders. Weird name, but that's their name. Animals as Leaders.
Animals as Leaders. And is it their rhythm or what is it that you want them to check out? The drummer?
Good Lord.
The time signature? What are we looking at?
I can't answer that.
Okay.
There's no way I could answer that. You just pull it up.
I'll have to take a look.
Take a listen.
And a listen, yeah.
Red Miso. Listen to Red Miso first.
Red Miso.
That song made my eyes water.
Never heard of any of these. Okay, what?
No, the song is Red Miso.
Oh, the Reds of the Reds.
By Animals as Leaders.
Information.
I'm sorry.
Information overload. No, it's all good.
The song made my eyes water.
Song, Animals as Leaders.
And you can check out my streaming songs on streaming services.
Yes.
People by Mike Gerbrandt.
That's the most important thing that we want to know. Checking out your song.
And soon to be other stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I'm considering releasing some stuff, but you just don't know in this biz.
I love it. Well, you're going to have to send me the link so we can put it up on our website.
You bet.
And we'll do that. And then we'll add that to all the other fun stuff we're going to be having on our website, which is your Surreal Escape Games.
Yes.
And then we'll also include your like Instagram and other things too, because I didn't have.
I don't have that anymore. That's because I don't have it anymore. Sorry.
Okay, no, but you do have a website though.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, you do have a website though.
Not a personal one.
No, but your Surreal Escape Games.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna, in fact, we do have a little card here. Let me just make sure I'm pulling up the right thing. Let's see. I usually do this on my laptop, so it's like what? Oh, here's a picture of you, a photo. What are you doing there? Where are you? What's going on there?
Right there, I am pretending to drum, but I'm holding completely still. That's really hard to do.
No, are you serious?
No, I mean, I just meant as in it's a photo, so it's just a moment in time. Oh, you know what, Cyndi? This was connection or conventional.
Was
times.
that in Anaheim?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what they call it anymore. It's going on right now, isn't it? Or it just did.
It just did. Yes. It just started. Just started. So we're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm not there this time around, and obviously you aren't either.
And you just were in Florida.
I was. Yeah, I had to make a hard call on if I really, of course, I wanted to be a convention, but
don't worry about it.
I know. There's always next year. And then here's another fun picture of you playing the drums. And then here we go. That is your information.
Oh, perfect. Look at you go.
Surreal Escape Games at surrealescapegames.com.
You know it.
Yeah. So loving that. So Mike, you know what? You're a papa, you're a dad. And then, earlier we talked about, the shooting that happened last week and just the importance of prayer. And so we're going to be launching a 7-day prayer starting tomorrow.
Cool.
But I wondered if you could pray just, for that situation, and then however else you feel, however you want to end your time
Yeah.
on Anything Live.
Of course. Of course.
Thanks.
God in heaven, each time we learn of an instance like this, our hearts are broken for those that have lost. And especially in these cases, those that have lost little ones. Lord, we lift up those families. We say, would you touch? Would you bring peace? Would you bring comfort? Would you let the mourning be what it needs to be, that it would be God, would you allow there to be those that come alongside in very practical ways? Thank you that you have ordained those relationships. And God, we want to continue to lift them up. We want to do our part to be there for those that we have around us, Lord, those that are hurting, those that have lost in friends, family in various ways. So God, those in Texas, even tonight, even right now, comfort. Show yourself, bring revelation of yourself. And thank you for this time, God, that we can pause and lift them up, and that there is power in prayer because you are the God that we pray to. That's why there is power in prayer, not because of the words we say. So, Lord, we're grateful, even in the midst of extreme trauma. So we thank you, God. Amen. In Jesus' name. Whoo!
Amen. Thank you so much for that, my friend. And
Yeah.
just so appreciate you. And it was just a joy to have you, the drummer of all drummers, on our show to wrap up this month, International Drum Month, and then
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. And don't forget that November is National
15.
Drum Day.
15th.
The 15th. So do something fun and let us know about it, because we want to.
I told you before we started the interview, I'm probably going to have some guys and we're going to do like 12 hours of straight drumming. I actually did a clinic, or I did a portion of a clinic where I said, guys, you know what? We talk a lot about drums, but what if in this session we're literally going to play the whole time? So
Wow.
it was 45 minutes. I know that's not as impressive as 12 hours, but we went 45 minutes. Nobody stopped drumming. I think there was 4 of us in that one.
Wow.
And just traded ideas. Call out this thing, we're going to do this, and then we kind of changed, but the drumming did not stop. I think we could do it 12 hours, November 15. Cyndi?
Wow. Hey, now, I love hearing that. Let's go for it.
So what you mean by that is you're going to log on for the whole 12 hours?
I'll watch a little bit of it. Well, it depends on the day. What day is November 15th? I
have
want to
no
show up for
clue.
that. I might want to be there for that.
Nice. Capture
some of that live action. That would be so much fun. Mike, oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for just your joy and your just who you are. It's been so much fun. It's been raw as well.
Yeah.
And use a whole lot of fun.
My pleasure, Cyndi. Thank you.
Yes, you got it. All right. Give my love to your family. And then we will be in touch, and we're going to be all about, let me see. I want to make sure that we bring your business up one more time before we say goodbye. But yes, everybody, Mike Gerbrandt with Surreal Escape Games. We're going to have his information on our website this week. So yes.
Sweet.
Sweet. I know I wanted to quote something you had said in your, and I know we're wrapping this up, but it made me laugh because you said something about, was it blowing people's? Oh, yeah, we're in the business of blowing minds.
That's like our main tagline.
I love that. I just was laughing. I go, oh my goodness.
Not tagline, but like pitch. That's like the beginning of the pitch, you know,
The
mind-blowing
pitch.
experiences.
Well, it'll be fun, and we're gonna have to figure out some way to have Surreal escape games for a little fun, little plot, little puzzle,
Totally.
little clues and twists.
Messing with your mind again.
Oh no. All righty, Mike. Thank you so much, everybody.
You bet,
Mike
you
Gerbrandt
bet.
with Surreal Escape Games. Have a blessed one, Mike. Thank you again. Keep up that falsetto. I was going to ask you, and we'll leave with this. Who is your favorite falsetto vocalist?
Oh my goodness.
I was thinking the stylistics were pretty high up there back. That's, when I think of falsetto, I think of the stylistics, but I'm sure.
He doesn't do it a lot, but I enjoy when Alan Stone does.
Okay. I don't know Alan Stone, but
Oh,
who
you
is he
need
with?
to. You need to know Alan Stone. He's with himself. You just put in his name.
Okay, I'm gonna put in his name. Jot it down. Alan Stone, Carrie. Alan Stone. All right.
He does sometimes get falsetto, and yeah, probably listen to Unaware. That's been around a while. That was like his hit that really like he took off on that.
All right.
Unaware is great. So
all right. Well, Alan
Thank
Stone,
you.
but you're the falsetto that we're after. So I'm excited also because I did mention we are also going to have your EP People. Just called People.
Yeah, it's called People. I'm not really on falsetto on that stuff, but
Okay.
my latest stuff, which I will keep you updated, of course.
Yeah. Keep us in the know. Keep us in the know. All right, my friend. God bless you. Love you. Give my love to your
Blessings.
family.
You
All right,
bet.
Mike.
Love you so
All right.
much. Love
All right.
everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we're going to have his EP. We're going to have his website. We said we're going to have, I'll have to go back and watch the replay. I feel like there was one other thing that we said. It was Surreal Games, and then it was his EP.
Oh, his Instagram, he said he didn't have one.
Oh, he said he didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I was listing I felt like I said, well, anyway, we'll watch the replay. We will have all of his information. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I mean, you could be watching anything, be anywhere, and it just totally blesses us that you do come and hang out with us. Sometimes week after week or whenever you're able. And whether you're watching it live, demand, or on Roku, we want to thank you guys so much. Please be safe. Remember to love your loved ones and then just be present. Like put the phone away. I mean, put it really away. Don't just turn it down, but put it away, like in another room away. It's time to be with the people that you love. There's no time like now, and it's not too late to make those investments in those very special people. So love you guys. Please be safe. I look forward to seeing you next week on A New Thing Live. Remember, keep just open mind, open heart for that new thing that God has in store for you. I don't want you to think like, oh, no, I can never do it. No, you can do it. And it's for you. And if you're not yet tuned into us on Instagram, let me see if I can find that information. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We're at A New Thing Live, at A New Thing, YouTube, at A New Thing Live. And then email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. We are here for you. I say it all the time, but if you have a prayer request or if there's anything that we can do to help strengthen you, resource you, just even a random question, about a previous episode or a previous guest, we do this for you. So we love you. Have an incredible week. Be open to that new thing that God has for you. And we will see you next week on A New Thing Live. Bye. Are you ready?